We don't do that here.
But the cream rises to the top.
Ultimate fucking casuals. We are back up in your ears, joined by the homies Nathan and Isaac. Oh, Isaac, today, it's today the Eagles game, right? How you feeling about it? What are you thinking? How's the game gonna go?
For this one, I feel pretty confident, but I don't know, man. The Commanders look sharp, right? I just think they're too young of a team, but the Eagles just have to not bullshit today, and I think they'll win.
I think I heard or saw someone say in Discord yesterday that the Bills might be too young of a team. I think that's what they said. I don't know.
I don't know who said that. That's not true.
Yeah, that's not Josh Allen and the Bills have lost a few times against the Chiefs. I think this is their fourth time facing them in the playoffs. So I would not say a young team, but I think it'll be a very good game.
I'm only a year away, but still as a former Cowboys fan, I'm rooting for the city to sink into the sea. Just take both teams with them, but it probably won't happen.
The NFC rivals. Yeah, dude, my Ravens got murked in a terrible loss. Really, really sad, but it is what it is. But listen, Nathan's Cowboys, they just signed a new head coach. They're gonna be good, Nathan. You can always trust.
No. Well, I'm really glad I checked out when I did, because they're in free fall now. They're gonna get really bad next year.
It's so bad.
I saw this thing on Instagram. I'm 99.9% sure it's AI, but it's of what's his name? Jones? Jerry Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jones.
Basically, the video is him talking about how the new head coach is I'm the puppet master. You could call me Metallica because I'm the master of puppets, and this is my new marionette.
Yeah.
But I think the general idea was that doesn't matter who the head coach is, they're not going to do anything to contradict Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm. That's the Jerry Jones way.
Yeah, we're all in.
All right, so before we dive into the MMA stuff, the UFC 311 chatter, we're going to keep it tangential, semi-related. This weekend, PBC at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. All right, before we get to the main or co-main, just looking up and down the card, what are we thinking? Is there anything that we want to point out or anything worth talking about before we get to the big two?
I guess the Isaac Cruz one, but his loss against Valenzuela sort of sets him back a little bit, but I think it's
that and the Jesus Ramos fight versus Jason Rosario. That's actually a good little scrap. Both guys they're not really competing for a title with this fight, but those are two seasoned vets.
I think I would keep Ramos in the more of the contender sort of level, because that loss to Erickson Lubin was bullshit. Anyone who saw it knows it's bullshit. Erickson Lubin knows it's bullshit.
Yoendlis Hernandez is supposed to be a good Cuban prospect.
I honestly can't say I've ever heard of him.
Isn't that supposed to be? I was trying to do some research, and I saw a few YouTube videos on him. He looks okay, but it's early in his career, I guess. Very good spotlight though on this card. This card is pretty insane.
Yeah, opening up the card, that's definitely a prestigious place to be.
Yeah, it's war. But Nate, I know Leo chose Benavidez. Who did you choose, Nathan?
I probably would have picked Benavidez a couple months ago, but recently I've been leaning Morel. I just think that since moving up, David's power hasn't quite, he's not quite as crushing as he was down at 168. And I think if the power is relatively equal, I'm going to lean with the slicker boxer.
Yeah, that's how I see it. And they're the same size.
Is Morel really the slicker boxer, though? I'm not so sure. Just the way that he's fought, when he was at 168, and the way Benavidez has always fought has been more. He's been a bit more of a technician that has a forward pressure, I would say.
I just feel like Morel's gonna. I feel like Morel's gonna be able to expose the lack of footwork that Benavidez has. I think this is Morel has power, man. He's not gonna be sitting on the outside just trying to pop jab like Shakur. He's gonna try to go for the KO. So we'll see. We'll really. Yes, they're gonna clash, and I think we're gonna see some knockdowns at the very least.
I think by the slicker boxer, I think Benavidez he does have good boxing. I'm not knocking him there, but it's all very leaning
Like more
forward,
imposing himself.
front facing attack, and Morel is like trying to bait into pull counters. He's trying to, stick and move and stuff like that. And I think that style clash. I mean, I don't know. You can't compare everything to Spence and Crawford, but that fight was very lopsided for the counter puncher. And I'm getting sort of similar vibes here.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't compare everything to it, but I mean, this is a really good analogy. This is a really good comparison between Morel to Crawford as Benavidez is to Spence in the way that they approach fights.
I do think the power difference will be what ultimately wins the day, because even if Benavidez doesn't knock him out, if he's just bludgeoning him for 12 rounds, he'll probably win over the course of the fight.
I was gonna say Benavidez, like I lean Morel, but I'm not saying like it's like 55 or like 60 to Morel. Like that I have in favor of him. Like Benavidez could absolutely win. It's a close fight.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I'm 55-60 Morel. I'm probably feeling the same way going into it. It's just Benavidez is from the hood. You know what I mean? I have to can't not ride with him when so few of us make it to that level.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
All right, in the co-main event, we have Brandon Figueroa facing off Cool Boy Steph. Stephen Fulton is a rematch of what was already a really good fight. I'm expecting it to be the same. The big question coming into this is Fulton, did Inoue really break his confidence and that type of mental game? Isaac, why are you not riding with your hometown, with your homie?
Oh yeah, he's not trash, but like I'm a back Fig in this fight. Yeah, I mean, at least for this one, I think I'm gonna back Figgy.
Has Fulton fought? Has Fulton fought since he lost?
Yeah, he fought Carlos Castro in what was a pretty close but clear kind of win.
Yeah, and like that's what I'm saying. He didn't look. I mean, he won the fight.
He didn't look like his usual self, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was something wrong there. So I don't know. He could prove me wrong.
I'm hopeful that Cool Boy get back to his cool ways. Losing to Naoya Inoue, fucking nothing to be ashamed of. Homeboy's been proving himself to be a generational great. So we're witnessing greatness, and Steph just happened to be in the way. But yeah. Come into the Discord and fucking ask for a stream. Go ahead, try it, see what happens. River, a creek, a Strom, Zelda's boyfriend. You're not cute. You're not funny. And the rules, everyone thinks the rules don't fucking apply to them. Why does everyone think the rules don't apply to them?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into a little bit of news. The GFL draft just happened. Patricky Pitbull signed with GFL. Tony Ferguson signed with GFL. Tyron Woodley, he went first overall to Team Dubai. There are a few other names that stand out that are, I guess they kind of pose interesting questions. But I don't know. Are all these guys like too fucking old? Is that what is geriatric fight league really gonna prove itself to be true every time?
Good work, Fight League.
I guess it depends if they do or don't drug test, because Yoel Romero at this age, if you put him on T, would still be an animal. So, like I would actually watch that if I knew he was on who knows what.
Yoel, he's the only anomaly here. That's because like age doesn't really affect him like that. I don't think he's ever been KO'd. I've seen him eat some shit, and I don't think I've ever seen him like even. I think I may have seen him stunned slightly, but never hurt like fully. But I mean, this is a geriatric league. Let's just say it how it is. Like you got Rashad Evans in here. I mean, this dude was
my God.
Usman's mentor. This dude was Usman's like, this is crazy.
Nurmagomedov? Is that who you mean? Kamaru.
No.
Okay.
Kamaru Usman, yeah. You got Chad Mendes. Tony Ferguson is a really bad one to have on here, just because like he's on a crazy loss
8 or 9
streak.
like 8 fight losing streak.
Yeah, it's sort of wild.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, a lot
like, it's just shameful.
Uriah Hall.
Uriah Hall. I got a chance to see him. I got a chance to talk to him like after the press conference when he fought on Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva, and like in the ring he looked fine. He looked okay. He had decent fundamentals. You know what I mean? He didn't look like he was shot or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's not as bad as like other ones on here, but like Chris Weidman is a crazy one to have on here. That's purely
you know,
name value.
You know what my favorite is Sage Northcutt. Like,
Bruh.
this guy's like 30 and in his prime still. Like, why is he in this and not anywhere
that
else?
chance.
Yeah,
Championship
Sage
belt.
was exactly who I wanted to ask about next because he still looks to be relatively young.
Dude,
I think he was-
Frank Mir. Frank Mir is another wild one on here.
I think Sage was cut because he just wasn't fighting. Like, it's not necessarily because he's lost or anything like that.
They had some type of disagreement, I think. The Sao Paulo team is so bad. Yeah, that team is gonna get murked.
So how does this work? There's like 4 fighters per weight class or something, and then there's 4 teams. So is that how it works?
I'm sure they'll get some brackets or something like that, but
So it looks like it's going to be a team structure, and it's like a point-based system. Seems like everyone, they drafted their top 4, and then they have other weight classes that they need to fill out from the roster. Teams could be carried by one person, or one guy sinks you to the bottom. I don't know.
I'll watch for like a few fighters. Joel Romero being one of them, probably the main one. But bruh, I feel like we're gonna see some of these older fighters get KO'd bad. Like Ferguson, I feel like is still gonna lose.
Yeah, he's old.
Benson fucking Henderson is on here. Isn't he like fucking 50?
He's 41 years old.
Yeah.
That's still really old for like fighting sports.
He's old. Yeah, this league. First of all, I feel like this league is not gonna. We're not gonna like see it all the way through. There's no way.
I think more they'll make it out of their first year, but I don't think they come back for a second.
Yeah, I feel like this is not sustainable.
All right. Anything more on the GFL stuff before we get into some recaps?
I guess we'll see what happens. But I mean, I'll be watching just purely out of curiosity. But in terms of like competitiveness, I don't expect that to see that much.
Oh, Holly Holm signed with GFL. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I really thought she was gonna do boxing.
Especially now, like women's boxing is having a big fucking like skyrocket.
Yeah,
a lot of people are paying attention to it. Well, more than there were before.
Yeah, they're good.
Support for this episode is from Malwarebytes. Protecting yourself when you're online is an absolute must these days. And there are plenty of options out there, but let's start with the perfect reason to give Malwarebytes the first try. You can get it and try it for free. And when you're impressed with the results, because you're going to be impressed with the results, we can look at plans and then we can start talking about the extra perks. I've been working in IT for almost 20 years. I've been trusting my personal network security to Malwarebytes 24/7 monitoring for no less than 10 of those years. The browser add-on is another nice feature that keeps your system healthy if, for example, you're watching sports on less than reputable websites. But we don't do that here, do we? I have the standard subscription package, which includes 24/7 malware protection, ad blocking, and protection from ransomware. I use these services on all of my computers that are in my network and even my phone. I have it on an Android, but the app is available for iPhone as well. If you step up to the Plus package, you get Malwarebytes VPN in addition to everything else, and there are tiers higher than that include family plans for 10 or more devices. So go to lvx.be/MWB and get 50% off your subscription. That's lvx.be/MWB for 50% off. All right, UFC 311 on Saturday, January 18th. We're going to go from the bottom up as usual. All right, so Tagir Ulanbekov, 11th at flyweight versus Clayton Carpenter. Bernardo Sopai, I made sure to pay attention to get the pronunciation right. Ricky Tercios, he gets the UD over Ricky Tercios. Bantamweights, Muing Gafurov gets the UD over Rinya Nakamura. He's another recent Ryzen acquisition. at bantamweight. Eileen Perez, 13th at bantamweight, gets the UD over Carol Rosa, 9th.
Oh, yeah, big win, by the way. Very big win.
And this is a pretty good get, isn't it? Like, she's coming in at 13 and she takes number 9, so she should at least be looking at the rated 9th, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. And I think they're trying to, at least from what I'm seeing people put on their like Instagrams, I think they're going to try to make Perez versus Cortez, Tracy Cortez.
Oh, that's not bad.
They've been beefing a decent amount online.
Oh, but I mean, really, Eileen Perez versus Tracy Cortez. I wonder why they'd want to make that one. All right, so that caps off the early prelims. So moving into the prelim portion, Bogdan Guskov, 13th at light heavyweight, gets the TKO2 over Billy Elikana. This was a late replacement for Johnny Walker. Billy Elikana was pretty game. Looked like in the first round he was doing pretty well, but I think the size disparity and the late notice, he was definitely sucking wind pretty hard in the second round before Bogdan was able to finish him off. Quick knockout, Azamat Bikoev, KO1 over Zachary Reese. Those are middleweights. And let me cue up a fucking funeral march here. Paoni Barcelos, UD over Peyton Talbot. It is no secret that I have been very high on this prospect.
Yeah. Dude, rest in peace to any Talbot bettors that had him on a parlay.
Oh my god!
He was probably the easiest pick on a parlay, and that just ruined a lot of nights.
Ruined it. Yeah, that was like, oh, I'll put this on. I don't have to worry about it. This probably busted a lot of parlays, bro. Talbot has. Now we know. Like we knew his striking was good and everything, but now we know he has deficiencies when it comes to ground game. And I was talking to some people in the Discord about it too, about like his lack of head movement too. Barcelos was landing good takedowns, but he was also landing some nice strikes up top. Talbot has things to work on.
Yeah,
Talbot
he showed his deficiencies. It was not pretty.
His next fight, like I wouldn't say the hype is like completely dead, but his next fight he's got to show improvement because it didn't look good. It's not like Barcelos is some like top contender. It's just a dude with like decent ground game.
No, this was like a bit of a fraud check. And I mean, the good news is that he's super young and he's already a specialist in one area. So like he can definitely, it's also the MMA, like one loss doesn't ruin a career. But as far as like, this was definitely giving me like Sean O'Malley rookie vibes. Hit the kind of promotion that was around him and the way they were moving him up, and he just got, really knocked down a peg. So,
yeah. And it was like, it was the featured prelim too. So like a ton of people saw him get murked. It was even worse.
I would like to say a few things in Talbot's defense. As much as you can defend him for a performance like this. In the first round, he was getting fucking ragdolled. There is no excuses there. In the second, he was starting to find his timing and his distance, and then in the third round he was continuing to build on that, but he got fucking taken down a couple more times, and he could not handle himself on the ground.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the only good thing we came away from this fight with was like we know Talbot has somewhat of a chin. At least he's not like a glass chin type dude, because he was, at the end of the third, Barcelos almost finished Talbot. He was on some crazy ground and put at the very end, but made it to the final bell. But yeah, damn, rip F in the chat.
Peyton Talbot, what a disappointment, but it's okay. Yeah, Nathan, you put it right. One loss, that's not everything. He's gonna have at least one or two opportunities to demonstrate that he's improved.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the end of the prelims. Starting the main card, Rainier de Ritter submits Kevin Holland in the first. Size was absolutely a problem. Mileage, I think, was a bit of a problem. And I stand by my cynical take of Kevin Holland. Hey, don't go too hard with him. Just help him build his confidence up. He was a double champ at 1FC. We don't want this to be a flop. I don't know.
It was a little bit of a company man performance for sure.
I think so.
He lost immediately. The memes. Obviously, I don't think that he just like walked in off the couch. Like he definitely trained, I think, but man, he just. I mean, you sort of have to say this is a steamroll. I feel like there was like no resistance.
I think it was intentional, to be honest with you.
I think it's also got to be the end of like Holland's. I'm gonna fight every 2 months and just go up and down a weight class. Like he's not having success with it anymore. And even when he was losing in these types of fights, they were at least really entertaining and you had a good time. And it's like
the last two have been not so fun.
Yeah, 180. He's too small for 185. Like I remember him in the past. Like he has even said, "I'm too small for 185." That's why he moved down. But this dude keeps fighting at 185. What is he doing?
I think
like,
it's because
maybe
so he
just
doesn't
like
have to cut twice, and that's what it is.
Right. So you deal with a bad cut, and then you do your fight at the lower weight class, and then you, on the recovery, you come back up and you can fight again at just your natural weight.
Yeah.
And just cash another check. But like, I mean, like these fights don't feel intriguing at all anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Especially not after that one. It's like, okay, well, if you're just gonna roll over, then I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. The UFC sent. I'm sure they sent him a nice email and like a $15 off coupon for Domino's or some shit, some bullshit.
When he said he's done with 185, but I'm not even sure.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Moving up, Jailton Almeida, 6th at heavyweight, stops Sergey Spivak in the first, rated 7th. Man, mix that one up.
Yeah.
But it was
that shit was wild.
That was a fun scrap while it lasted. It was decently competitive until Almeida started landing some big shots, and then it was just, that was it. I don't know. Is there anything more to add to it?
It's just the heavyweight division. I feel like there's not I mean, these guys are good, like for the heavyweight division. But
outside of top 3,
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, it's really lacking with talent, but it's a good stoppage.
Good fight on the B team.
Yeah, I would say so. I am also surprised though that Almeida got the stoppage because he's, more of a pure grappler, right? That's what the intrigue was when he came up to heavyweight. So but it's also, he just knocked out Spivak. Like, I don't think he's going to be, rocking Tom Aspinall anytime soon. So it's hard to get super excited.
I don't know.
But it was a good fight regardless.
I feel like Tom Aspinall's been really quiet since Almeida got that stoppage.
So true.
The silence is deafening, Tom. What are we doing here?
We're getting that Jones fight.
All right. Yuri Proska, KO3 over Jamal Hill, 2nd and 3rd at light heavy, respectively. I saw this Instagram reel that was actually really good. They played the Yuri Jamal and the AP Jamal fights like side by side, and it looked like Yuri was kind of he was trying to replicate what AP was able to do, and it looked like it fucking works. Because man, that was Jamal. I really hope he's still trying to cope online, just to get some more heat on himself. Playing the villain.
Talk about a humbling moment.
Should be.
And also, what a... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Yuri, like he fucking puts his hands on anthills, dude, to numb his hands with the power of ant venom. God, what?
Wait, did he actually do that?
Yes, he did.
I mean, that sounds right, but oh my god,
that is.
Jamal Hill has not said anything online, at least on Twitter. So
yeah, well, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah. I have to say though, like when Yuri said he needed to evolve after the second Pereira fight, like you could sort of see it here. Like, his hands are still down, but he is guarding a little more. The head movement was much more deliberate from him. Just the awareness on how much danger he is or isn't, and when he can actually unload his shots. Like there definitely was a growth from an older fighter, which we typically don't see.
Definitely. It was nice to see because like Yuri as a personality, it's fun. I love how like his like psychobilly shit. Like I'm gonna go put my hand in some anthills so that I could like imbibe the power of their venom or whatever he was saying. Like, dude, where do you get this shit? And what are you smoking to get to this point? Because let me have some. That sounds fun as fuck.
He also like locked himself in a closet for like 3 days and just sat in the dark for a while.
Yeah, it was like a soundproof, lightproof. Just okay.
Someone was bringing up food. Yeah, Yuri's a wild dude though, but like, man, like he just has like this presence about him. In fights, like outside of fights, I don't know, man. And like it's almost every fight he's in is pretty much guaranteed to be enjoyable at the very least. I mean, this fight was very, very good.
Yeah. So before we ask about Yuri, Jamal Hill, he's moved down to 4th. Jan Blachowicz moves up to 1st. What could be next for Jamal? Because I don't think Jan is busy, first of all. So what? Is he going to fight Rakic? Khalil Roundtree?
I think something like, Roundtree or like Carlos Ulberg. Ulberg would be a tough draw.
Isn't
but
Ulberg
you could also,
fighting
him...
Blachowicz?
Oh, yes, that's right. They are fighting next. You couldn't do that, but you could do Roundtree. You could even do Dominic Reyes. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad fight.
What's Johnny Walker doing?
Oh, man.
Johnny Walker?
We're back,
yeah,
baby.
if you want to get him a win, you get Johnny Walker. No, they can't do that. They can't do a rematch of that fight.
Oh, that's a rematch.
There's no way.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one of the reasons that Johnny Walker, like, turned into the inflatable arm flailing tube man.
That was when he just like planked backwards. And like
his whole body went like whoop, and his arms go up in the air.
Not good. That cannot be good.
Very hilarious video.
All right, so Jamal Hill, like the options are outside of the top 5. Has he fought Rakic before? Because 4 and 5 seems like a decent enough fight. Rakic is coming off some snoozers.
Yeah,
you got to give him something that's not too low, or you're looking at dropping him in the rankings because he's might not do that.
I think Rakic could be a Hill versus Rakic. That could be because, like you said, they're both coming off losses. So
I think Roundtree would honestly beat Jamal Hill at this point.
I think so. Yeah,
he might.
I think he could. I think he could do it. If he's like Yuri, if he studies the Poatan tapes, then yeah, you should be able to. He can manage it. He has the striking capability to do it, so should be all right. Now for Yuri though, Poatan is fighting Ankalaev. Other than that, there's nobody standing in the way of a rematch with Pereira or fighting Ankalaev should Ankalaev win. Is what a third fight with AP? I don't know. I don't really want to see it.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what's gonna happen here because I think it's also gonna depend on whoever wins between Jan Blachowicz and Carlos Ulberg.
True.
Because that might be a title eliminator, like for after Ankalaev. I mean, regardless, I think Alex is gone after if he wins or loses against Ankalaev. I think he's gone.
What, retirement?
So I think
or moving up.
No, maybe heavyweight. Probably heavyweight, I would assume. We're talking about it a ton. But yeah, I mean, I this division is gonna be sort of in the air for a little bit, I feel like. Roundtree versus Yuri would be very fun though.
Yeah, I was thinking that
very fun.
Jan Blachowicz versus Ulberg, and then AP versus Ankalaev. Prohaska against the loser of Blachowicz and Ulberg? I don't know.
I think that would be acceptable.
Yeah, that seems like a good fight to make. Ulberg, if he wins and then gets offed by AP, who knows? But Yuri has some pathways to a rematch or a shot at the title again.
Yeah, I think Yuri might actually be fighting for the title soon because I think what's going to happen is that if AP wins versus Ankalaev, I think he's moving to heavyweight after that.
Mhm.
I think by the
Yeah, I
time that
agree.
happens, I think there'll be a pathway for him to challenge for the undisputed title and not the disputed or interim title. And it'll give him enough time to have enough preparation and then just come up and fight the champ immediately.
Hopefully, I mean, Alex really doesn't. I mean, he's starting to get old.
He's almost 40.
He's in his like late 30s. I want to say like 38 or something like that.
38,
but,
39, yeah.
Yeah, he's not got too much time left. So I think after Ankalaev, because realistically,
There's nothing left.
If he beats Ankalaev, yeah, I mean, he's beat a lot of the top contenders. So I think it's pretty reasonable for him to like leave after that.
The real question I have is, has he beaten Johnny Walker?
Johnny Walker, that'd be some shit, bro.
That's the
Johnny
litmus
Walker was the
test.
one who beat him. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Anything more for Yuri Jamal? All right.
No.
Merab Dvalishvili, the champ at bantamweight, gets the fucking utter destruction. That's what UD stands for here. Over Umar Nurmagomedov, the second-rated bantamweight. Man, the first few rounds were competitive, but like that gas tank, like holy shit. Can Merab be stopped? Fucking like what? O'Malley was close getting with that kick late.
I don't. Yeah, unless someone knocks him out in one punch, you can't beat him. At least this current iteration, and he fought with a staph infection. That was a staph
On his leg?
infected Merab.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he completely mogged Umar Nurmagomedov. Like, I mean, made him look silly. You know, one of the most, like, probably the most prestigious fighting family in combat sports right now. Like, maybe the most intense camp that, well, I mean, second only to whatever Merab's doing in the Georgian mountains or whatever. But, you know, the Dagestanis. I don't know why I still slipped my mind, but they're supposed to be the most fearsome, the most trained, the hardest fighters,
strongest grapplers of, if nothing else. Their ground game is supposed to be elite, like wrestling bears and shit. That's the type of mythology we're talking about.
Yeah, and Merab made him look silly. Like, made him look like, oh, we don't deserve to be in the same ring from about round 3 onwards.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, I haven't been around since, the beginning of MMA or however far back it went. But I feel like just in like what I've seen, Merab may have like the best gas tank of like any combat athlete ever. Like, I don't understand how he's able, he doesn't even, after the fight when they're doing the interview, he doesn't even look like he's been in a fight. He's not breathing heavy.
He doesn't
could
seem
go on like
at all.
Yes, this dude could go on more rounds easily. Higher out. I mean, bro, it's insane. Like, it's insane how much cardio he has. Like, he simply just outworks you. You could be better skilled, but he just has more in the tank than you do. He'll last longer than you do. He won the last 3 rounds pretty handily. And I mean, Umar is talking about the broken hand, but I mean, Merab also came in with like, I mean, like Nathan said, with the staph infection. So, I mean, they both came in with shit. This is a demolition. Merab really toyed with Umar.
He did.
At the very end. That boy was gasping for air.
And he let him up often, like multiple times. Like bitch, get up. I'm not done with you.
It just a stun on him, too.
Yep. Oh, God.
I mean,
That was so fucking funny.
Merab's coaches, I think it was after the 4th round, they like got pissed at him. They're telling him to calm down and stop taunting because he was doing it too much.
Oh, come on. Oh, they're on opposite sides of, I think it's the Ural Mountains. So that's like a territorial thing too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that type of flair on a fight.
Yeah, you really have to knock this dude out if you want to beat him. Sean, it's between Sean and Umar for the best chance to beat Merab, but I just don't think it's possible.
Has Merab fought Sandhagen?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. He fought Jan. Oh, he fought Jan.
He fought Umar and lost. He fought Font, Vera, Yadong, Jan, Dillashaw. Yeah, he hasn't fought Merab. I think that's a good fight to make.
Corey's talking. Oh no, Corey's saying the cursed words. He thinks he has his kryptonite.
Oh yeah,
probably not, dude.
Excellent.
Probably not. But
bring him on.
Sandhagen was calling out O'Malley too. He wants that fight.
Yeah, I saw him on social media calling out O'Malley. I did see that. Fuck, what is this? I don't know if these are the Urals or the Caucasus.
Who's the Caucasus? That's the one by Dagestan.
I think the Caucasus are the mountain range by Dagestan. Because Merab wears the same hat as the Dagestani dudes do. So that's the. I remember like early on in the Ultimate fucking Casuals, Nathan, like we came across this fighter whose nickname was the Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like, oh fuck, that's quite the nickname. Like, oh yeah, it's he's calling himself like the Mountain Man basically. But it's the Caucasus Mountains. Still, that's still a wild nickname to have once you get into the world stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still wild to have. Anything more from Merab Umar? I think Merab and Umar still has. He can still make a lot of good fights. There's still a ton of good matchups happening at bantamweight. If you take Merab out of the picture, which I unfortunately I don't think that anybody has anything to offer him at this point. Might be time for. Is it time for him to move up?
He can still make good money here, especially with O'Malley. And I'm pretty confident he can win too. So I feel like he's probably going to try to stay.
Do like
at 135.
Just own the division.
Yeah, because like he can make good money here, and it's
for sure.
It seems like light work on honestly. So I think at some point he will move up though.
If he wants to challenge himself, yes. If he wants to make money, stay.
Yeah.
He strikes me as the type that would want to move up to challenge himself. But maybe I shouldn't say he strikes me as the type. He takes me down as the type. Is that a good one? It's
perhaps there are better ways to say that.
Yeah, pause. Yeah, I know. I know. I knew that's what it was gonna do. But all right, fucking main event. Islam Makhachev submits Renato. No history lesson. All he said was, "I'll be back." You get the call, you gotta take it, right? Is that how it goes? I was talking with on B sides. This is like a parallel with Shanada. We were talking about the guy, the Kim, the Korean dude that stepped in to fight Inoue versus because Goodman got cut again. Fucking idiot. And I said, if Inoue called me or his team or whatever called me and said, hey, like we got a spot, you got 2 weeks to get ready, I would say no. Is the money awesome? Sure it is. But if I'm going to be taking a fight against one of the top 3, not 3 best fighters on earth, I'm not taking that shit without a full camp. I need to give myself the best chance I can. What is Kim doing? What is Moicano doing? What are they doing differently that makes them take a fight like this on short notice?
They're trying to get that bag. I was seeing that Moicano got like 900K to take this fight short notice, and
shit. That's probably a big step up from what he was gonna get.
On UFC, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, he made bank. He's never seen that type of money before. Not only that, but like this puts you in good graces. Like even though he lost, like the UFC's gonna like, we'll fix you up.
We'll make you whole on the back end. Yeah.
That's the good old boys aspect of the UFC that actually does take care of the fighters. Where it's like, if you do something for the company does pay that forward typically.
Yeah,
that's good.
So I don't know what they're gonna do next. But I'm sure Moicano's probably gonna get paid well again in whatever fight he takes next. But yeah, I mean, this is just whenever I saw that Arman was canceled and it was McConnell, and I was like, oh, well, this is another free win for Islam.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do better. I thought that because he is such a late replacement, that the unknown aspect of what he brought to the table was going to be the problem. That gave him more time to work, but turns out that's not the case. Not when you wrestle bears and shit.
And not just wrestle bears, but when you're the pound for pound best fighter in the sport, like it's they're really, you could really fight anyone at any given moment below the top 5, and I mean you have everything you need to beat them. It's just a matter of, okay, this is their timing, this is like their entry point, this is how I'm going to get the finish.
You got 5 minutes before I figure you out, and then round 2 you're fucking done. I do have to mention, I got a text. He's listening in. Dana White said, "You called Islam pound for pound number 1, not Jon Jones." That's it's going to be a bit of a problem.
Well, I think.
Well, I don't know now. He actually said maybe he is pound for pound number 1 now.
Yeah, so in the post-fight press conference, he said Islam is the pound for pound number 1 at the moment.
At the moment.
So he's changed tune. This is obviously just because the Jon Jones fight has already passed. Like he needed Jon Jones to be pound for pound number 1 for the Stipe fight to promote it more. But I don't know if he's gonna start to weaponize that to try to get Jon Jones to fight. So we'll see. But
I hope so.
Islam is the pound for pound number 1.
He is absolutely
fighter.
AP number 2 or Jones? I would say AP.
I mean, if AP beats Ankalaev, I feel like it's just undeniable that he's ahead of Jones at the moment.
It's just like a what have you done for me recently? That's it.
Yeah, a Stipe win. I mean,
that don't matter to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would have Topuria and Merab over Jones, and it's like,
yeah, honestly, yeah.
I mean,
Jon Jones
fought
number
Gon
5,
and you fought Gon and an old Stipe. Like, we're not exactly in the murderer's row here.
No.
You know,
Yeah,
2 fights
you're right.
in what,
Topuria's out there
a year and a half.
Topuria fought 2 Hall of Famers and knocked them both out. Undeniable. AP, undeniable. Merab, yep. The man, he just put a blemish on the Dagestani Eagle boys, and that's a very difficult thing to do.
You know, this could be a hot take, but like, there's an argument for Pantoja being pound for pound better than Jon Jones.
Jon Jones number 6. Oh shit! Keep piling them up, boys. Keep piling them up. This is the type of shit that gets us on the headlines.
You're gonna make Dana White have like an aneurysm.
I am okay with that. Shit. Okay, so what's next for Islam? Because Arman, like, I saw a lot of speculation online that Arman is not going to be next, and Charles rematch and then Arman? I don't know. There's not a whole lot left for him to do here.
Well, there's even bigger talk. Apparently, the UFC is thinking about letting him go not to the welterweight, but all the way to middleweight to fight the champion after. So they have the Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland fight like in a month or so, and then Khamzat has the winner of that, and there's talk of letting Islam go straight to that winner.
Woof.
And the reason being, he's friends with Bilal, so he doesn't want to fight him.
I heard that he's willing to fight him. I saw a headline saying that he's willing to fight Bilal for the title.
Okay, well that's different than what I had heard. But
Okay.
that would make way more sense. But apparently they're even more ambitious than that, is what I've heard.
Well, either way.
185. That would just be really, like, I mean, it's obvious disadvantage. I know Islam is massive for 155, but I mean, can you imagine Islam and Dricus? Dricus is massive.
I just want to see it because I just want to see what that would look like. And I mean, if he really wants to go for greatness like that, like, who am I to stop him? But like, oh my gosh.
If he imagine he beats Dricus. I mean, I think he'd have an easier time against someone like Sean, honestly.
Oh yeah, if it was Sean
Strickland would
versus
take that. Oh, fuck yes, Strickland would take
that.
that.
Yeah, massive paycheck. He'd absolutely take that. But that fight is honestly more winnable for Islam. I feel like Dricus is a really good wrestler and he's strong as shit. But Strickland, Islam might be able to do some of his Dagestani magic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but we would have to have, in order for that fight to take place, Strickland would have had to beat Dricus and Hamzat back to back. So
and
that
then
might
fight
change.
Islam. That's something.
Yeah,
that's a run.
That is Hamzat's division. I don't think Islam can beat Hamzat. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably too much.
Would it be Dricus like is brute strength compared to Islam's like refined grappling?
I mean, I've always heard DC say that like these dudes like Islam and Khabib, like DC is obviously light heavyweight in his career, and he's wrestled with them. He says that like Islam and Khabib can pin even DC down. Like
and he was like an Olympic wrestler, wasn't he?
That's what I'm saying. Like really, really good wrestler. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess their technique would sort of cover the weight gap a little bit, but I mean, bro, Dricus kills himself to make 185 sometimes. The way he looks in the weight cut. I mean,
it would be a 40-pound weight disadvantage, I think. Well,
yeah.
30.
Well, I don't know. Islam walks around 180, so 30 is probably 25-30 is more realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Islam honestly would not have to weight cut at all to make that fight. I feel like. I mean, maybe like a few pounds, but I doubt much. But I mean, I don't know. I would like to see him at 170 first, though. Islam versus Shavkat.
At least one fight, right?
Shavkat wins. Yeah, because I mean, if he can get double champ status, that makes the middleweight fight even bigger, because we have yet another person that could perhaps get like a 3-division championship status. So I mean, I don't know. I would rather see Shavkat versus Islam, but I think lightweight's going to be a little bit barren for a little bit.
Still a lot of old heads.
Yeah, I mean, plus Arman not fighting on this card sort of destabilizes that division a little bit.
It does, yeah. It sets it back like 6 months.
Yeah, I could see why the UFC were very annoyed.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else to finish off 311?
Good card, very good card.
All right. Support for the show can be you. Go to lvx.be/Patreon, sign up there, and you'll get access to exclusive and ad-free content. And we just relaunched the merch shop with options for listeners of any show in the Lux Media family. lvx.be/shop and get yourself hooked up over there. If you want a discount code, Patreon subscribers get a 20% code every month. Just saying. Moving on, our only preview, UFC Fight Night on the 1st in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Oh, bottom up, stop me if you need to. Hamdi, Abdel Wahab versus Jamal Pogues. Pogue? That's what you call non-grunts, non-infantry. Pogue. Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. That was heavyweight, and Bogdan featherweight. Fares Siam, this is the young man that was on UFC Paris. Just beat the ever-loving shit out of the opponent, and he was just like, I don't really like all this attention that I'm getting. Man, you're like you're an up-and-coming fighter out of France, dude. People are gonna pay attention. So Fares Siam versus Mike Davis at lightweight. Terrence McKinney versus Damir Hatzovic at lightweight. Terrence McKinney,
always a good fight.
Yeah, he's one of those like D1 wrestler types coming out of LSU, so that's pretty cool. Jordan Levitt, KOs as well.
I mean, McKinney fights always go. It's either he gets knocked out or he knocks the other guy out.
So
there's like no in between.
So should I be asking, like, for the smaller weights, what's Terrence McKinney doing? Is that the?
I mean, bro, it's pretty. His fights. I mean, there's a boring one does not exist, but he's been knocked out brutally so many times.
That's unfortunate. Guess I understand why tigers are endangered. Jordan Levitt versus Abdul Karim Al-Selwadi. That's quite the name, homie. Lightweights, Shamil Gassiev, 14th at heavy versus Thomas Peterson. Muhammad Naimov versus Kaan Ofli at feather. Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz, middleweights.
That's a good fight. That's a very good fight, by the way.
Ikram, that name is familiar.
That's the dude that Whitaker KO'd.
Yeah.
Somewhat short notice.
Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira at bantam.
Great fight.
Is Said an Eagle guy?
Yeah.
He is?
He's like the white little one, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you don't match. Sergey Pavlovich, fourth at heavyweight versus Jairzinho Rosenstreich? Heavyweights at
Dude,
Jairzinho.
Pavlovich is... Yeah, and not only that, but Pavlovich's title aspirations on the line here. He can't lose this fight.
He
has
was
to
so
win by
pissed
any
off.
means necessary.
Oh, yeah. Man, if you lose to Rosenstreich here... I mean, Rosenstreich is an ass, but he's not at the top either.
Oh, well, maybe... I heard GFL is taking some submissions.
Yeah, he actually is going to the GFL if he loses here.
So, good fucking luck,
Russian
or
delegation
the Global Fight League. All right, moving up. Shara Magomedov goes by Bullet, right? 14th at middleweight versus Michael Page. He's 15th at welterweight. So this is a move up for him.
Yeah. I don't know how this is going to go. If this was at the same weight division, I'd say this would be a nice striking match. But Michael Page is going to be undersized here. So,
I don't know his chances very well.
Yeah, I don't know. Shar is a very, very dangerous striker. Page could get put out.
And in the main event, Israel Adesanya, second at middleweight versus Nasruddin Imavov, fifth. I think he's moved up. Nope, he's still fifth. All right, cool. Well, time to put up or shut up. Nasruddin, what are we doing?
He's getting his chance. If he wins this one, he's right where he wanted to be. But this is not an easy fight for either dude. I'm gonna say.
And for Israel, this is what you want to be in the mix. Well, then, prove it.
Yeah,
if he loses,
I think he will. I think we're gonna get contender Izzy here, and I think he's really gonna style on Imavov here.
Contender Izzy. It's been years since I've seen him.
I don't even think he has his eyes on this title. I think he's trying to. I think he's still maybe looking for that third AP fight. But either way, even if I'm wrong about that, I think we're gonna see a really fired up Adesanya here.
Dude, hopefully.
In enemy territory too. There's no way he doesn't. He's gonna show up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we at least see an Izzy win, because it's gonna be sort of awkward if he has to retire. He's been in the sport for so long, at least for how long I've been a fan.
One of the first UFC fights I ever saw was Izzy knocking out AP.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be really weird if he retires. Really weird.
Well, that's it, man. This is a big weekend. Like we said up top, you can catch the PBC card, the boxing card. You can watch that after the UFC fight ends, so you don't have to pick between the two. And this boxing card, this is one that it will entertain. If there are plenty of fights, I could say, if nothing else, this one. If nothing else, this one. And there's more than enough of those to say this whole card should deliver. And the UFC one, I don't have to tell you. You already know. This is a good one to watch. The angry leprechaun from Luck of the Irish. Well, that is it. I missed the spot earlier, so I'm gonna put it in here. Just all the shit is gonna be at the end. You've been listening to The Ultimate Effing Casuals, a Lux Media production. If you'd like to give your thoughts, or you need to let us know how terrible you think our takes are, you can be a duck and text our anonymous line, 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on your business, send a voice message or send a voice note in WhatsApp, and we'll see if you're interesting enough to make the final cut of the show. 833-LUX-PODS. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net, all one word. That's on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, all the rest of that bullshit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. A lot of stuff gets cut from the final releases, so if you want the raw audio exactly as it's recorded, look us up on Patreon. LVX Media Net over there, just like everywhere else. Patreon is also where you can get the ad-free versions. Even if you don't sign up on Patreon, you can still help us out a lot if you check out our ad sponsors. You can also help us out by giving us a rating on whatever app you're listening on. And last, but certainly not least, you can check out the merch shop. New stuff's going up all the time. lvx.be/shop. The metal intros by Anders Janhunen, the jazzy intros by Afternoon, outro by Middle of Nowhere Beats, and for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. Outro and the advertisement. What's that? You don't like advertisements? And you should probably go check out Patreon. And you're not going to have to deal with them anymore. But heading into UFC Fight Night in Riyadh, parting words. Nathan, I want you to go first because Isaac usually jumps in right away. Crickets?
I think he's muted.
Ah.
Fuck! I was muted. Okay, parting words. Combat sports back in full swing. Boxing about to deliver its first big card of the year. We had 311 in the books, 312 right around the corner, and we are officially back.
So back.
Yeah, I'm hyped. Like Nathan said, the ball has begun to roll. We're gonna get this big February 1st boxing card. Then shortly after, like 3 weeks after, it's the Riyadh card with Bivol and Beterbiev, the rematch. But then UFC is a little bit of a slump with UFC 312, but there's a lot of good fights on the horizon. A lot of good matchups that they have lined up. So we will be feasting.
February is such a good month for fight sports.
Yeah.
So good. Oh shit.
It'll be good.
So as we head out, be sure to check out the socials, LVX Media Net. That's everywhere. If you can't find it, we're not on it. Oh, check out the YouTube channel, and what you don't check out the new merch shop. Like holy shit, I think that our Chama guy is actually pretty damn good. That's that's lvx.be/shop. That's the link there. All right, man. We'll see you on the other side of UFC Fight Night, and next time we'll be talking about UFC 312. So, see you then.